And salutations, my friends. Welcome to episode 50 of the Journeyman. Very different today. I've come back. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand anything. It's bizarre. There's so many weird shit that's going on, right? So firstly, as normal with me, I forgot that in the league break, there's that weird cup competition that's like Europa League, but the games count towards your average points because, you know, logic. So we've played a few games and we're doing really well. We've carried on the decent form, okay? But because it's not a league, this is so, right, it gets weirder, right? Because there's not a league game, because they're not the Uruguayan Intermedio, because they don't actually count as league games, then that doesn't count towards because I need a point from that last fucking league game, right? So I thought, well, I'll play the Intermedio in between. I'll come back for the proper game where we need to get a point to save our job, right? Because we're doing so badly. Despite now not doing badly, because if we go into the average points, there's been a massive improvement. Now, we're still down there, but we're much, much closer to getting survival, even mid-table, right? So all things are good. But if we look at the board, because they're not league games, despite them counting for relegation, they are very disappointed, right, with your leadership of the team. The biggest disappointment, without doubt, is the terrible performance in the Primera Division, right? Because the game can't fathom that those points in the Intermedio thing count towards your average position, which counts towards the relegation, all that good stuff, right? But it's weirder than that, right? So, because, I'll catch you up on the results and show you what's been going on. We've made a couple of transfers. They're not arriving until 1st of July. So, we drew with, so after that game there, which we won 3-1, we drew with the same team, 1-1. This is the cup competition. Lost 3-0. Beat Club Nacional, one of the biggest teams in Uruguay. Top two, you could argue Nacional or Penarol are the two biggest teams in the league. We beat them 2-1. We beat CA Cerro 2-0. And the Rampia Juniors, we drew 1-1. So we've still got 2 games to left, right? But I had to come back early because I need to ask for your help because I don't want to go on without making a decision. So, let's just recap. My board thinks I'm doing a terribly shit job, right? Which, if you want to just look purely at the league table, I am. If we look into... So the average points, we see much improvement. But if they're just going on the league table, so this is the opening stage. Although we picked up right at the end, you know, we're not massively far off. They're expecting mid-table, remember, so that's the problem. So, but much improved. Just won some games. Okay, so we are doing terrible. We need a point from our first game back in the actual proper league to survive. Otherwise, we get sacked. Okay, are you all caught up, right? Are we there? It's confusing, it's weird, but welcome to Uruguay. Then we get this. There's been a lot of speculation this week linking you to the vacant job at Club Nacional. Once again, the arguably biggest team in Uruguay. Are you interested in the job? So my little team is about to sack me for not doing well enough, but I'm being linked with the biggest team to take over. Now, if we look at the job centre, we are not favourites. Roberto Brum is the favourite, 2-1 favourite. But, just to get you an idea of where we're at, I'm favourite for the River Plate Montevideo job. They're not doing as well. Let's have a look at the opening stage. Oh, hang on. No, they're better. I'm favourite for that fucking job, right? I'm favourite for that job. I don't know what's going on. Why am I favourite when about to be sacked? It makes no sense. It's making no sense. So, these 2 jobs are available, one of which I am favourite for. I don't know what's doing it. Out on average points, they're having a better season this season. So, last season they struggled with 35 points. This season, much, much better. So that's why they're sort of not in the top. But they're still a top 6 fucking team, right? River Plate. They've got much better facilities than we have. They're okay financially. If we look at Club Nacional, they've struggled a little bit this year. Not as good. 32.7. Oh, okay, it's the other way around. Okay, yeah, sorry, I thought it would be in date order. Silly me. So they're fourth overall. They didn't win the league last year. I think it was Defensor Sporting that won the league. But if we look at them, excellent youth facilities, national reputation, good training facilities. If we look on general, they've got secure finances, which is okay. They've got some really good player. Their hot prospect is Gabriel Poyet, who's a pretty spectacular advanced playmaker. He's only 18. They've got, obviously, a much better squad. Who's they wanted by? Porto and Ben. So there's money to be made. Right. Okay. So here is it, right? I'm not playing, like I said, I'm not playing any games today. It's going to be a super short episode because I don't want to go on without getting your feedback. So, fucking ridiculously complicated. So, this competition here, let's assume we're not going to win this competition. Even though the board expects mid-table, so they should be happy with that. So I don't know why they're not taking that into account when being very disappointed. I'm not sure I think it's just a one-off thing. Whoever wins the Intermedio Cup, I'm assuming. But who knows? There could be a whole fucking different layer. But let's assume we, win one, lose one, and do okay there, right? But coming back into the league, it doesn't change the fact, however well we do in this, that we need to draw our last game against Juventud, right? I just love that name. It's like a typo. Who are doing all right. Oh, no, that's the friendlies. Yeah, but it is Juventud. I thought I'd arrange a friendly against them, test ourselves. It is away from home. They're 11th in the league, so they're not that good, and we're playing pretty well. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen. We're a bit up and down still a little bit at the moment. So, do I basically go all out for these two jobs? Obviously, first choice is Club Nacional. Basically, I say, any manager worth their salt, I declare interest in the job, try and get a job interview. And then even if the board sack me because they're not very happy, so they're looking for an excuse to sack me. Although, will they sack me because they promised me one more game of a point? I don't know. Sorry if I'm confusing you, but I'm very confused myself, so just have to deal with it. So do I basically go all out to try and get this job? Even if it costs me my job at Cerro Largo, which seems to be picking up. And then, as a backup, if that doesn't come to fruition, yes, I'll use that fucking big word, boom, we could go for River Plate, who are still a big upgrade on what we've got. I haven't looked at their team in particular, but they are a better team. They've got an 18-year-old kid that looks actually pretty decent for 18 years old. Their key man, he's a little bit pale. He's a centre-back option who's very decent, only 20 as well. So it's definitely an upgrade. And they might have okay finances because we need another coaching badge. That's what we want. And we can't get it here because we're in debt. So here are options. Option A is go for Cerro Largo. This is our club. This is our team, right? With the risk of losing that last game, getting sacked, and then because we got sacked, we might take a profile hit. Therefore, Club Nacional and River Plate won't want us anymore. So I suppose, oh fuck's sakes, I'm so sorry. This is so confusing. So there's three possible options. We go. Oh no, it's still the same option. We go for Cerro Largo, and then if we get sacked, fine. We look to move to another country, or possibly Club Nacional, or if they're still interested in a tainted sacked manager. I don't know why I look like that. I look like a lesbian, a bald lesbian. Or we go right. Fuck it. Let's declare interest in River Plate. Let's declare interest in Nacional. Everything we can to get those jobs. I'd love to know. It's just really confusing and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to play on until I get your say-so in the comments. Obviously, eventually I'll make the final decision. But this is one of those ones where I'd really like your thoughts before I go on. Because I'm getting this email, so I want to start off by going, any manager worth their salt, or I want to tell them to fuck off. Either way. Because the board hate me. So let me know what you think in the comments. Sorry for this sort of short episode, but it was important and I don't really want to go on and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments what you think and I'll see you next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. fucking not got a clue what's going on. Freya, have you got a clue? Freya, do you have a clue what's going on? Do you want to come up? What do you think, missus? Sort your ear out. What do you think? Stay or go? That's 3 licks for... I'm not sure, Daddy. All right, leave it. Not up the nostrils. Thanks for your lack of help there, Freya. Who knows?